Stanislav Popov of Russia, Arunas Bizokas of Lithuania, Anatoly Trelinsky of Ukraine, Sergei Nikrasov of the United States of America, Yulia Karlova of Russia, the South African.
I think that's very important. And then how it moves, so of course how you coordinate the movements and time the movements, and then how it connects, and it's connecting together between partners, connecting to the music, and connecting to those who are looking at the performance. So I think in general these three things, and of course there are a lot of details in each one if you go, that it makes it better, and overall I think it would be summed up with the word quality. And I like the definition of quality, which is attention to detail, because in every of these departments, so there's so many details that make things work better. So I think the greater the quality, the better. But in general sense, so yes, so how you look, how you move, and how you connect.
Absolutely. And obviously, Aruna's timing. Today we all know the Ferrari flies as a machine, and young dancers, that's what they want to do. And sometimes timing goes out the window. Do you have things you forgive when you judge? The smile you're getting now, because sometimes you see judges, we get that smile on the floor because you're going, ooh, There we go.
Yeah,
What do you
well,
forget?
and I think it's great when there's a lot of enthusiasm, and of course that sometimes can take over some other things. And yes, so where the timing can become less clear, and of course it's got to be as clear as possible, because that, of course, to say, it's got a lot of impact where the timing is great. So yeah, but I think with experience you become more aware how important it is. But looking back at my career, so yeah, I remember when I thought, yes, so the faster I go, the better it is, so the greater is the energy. So I think that's very natural, and I think that is important, but that's not the only thing that counts.
Absolutely, Arunas. And then advice, Arunas. What advice would you give to those young dancers out there looking at this daunting, mammoth phenomenon, and how do they grab this bull by the horns?
Yeah, well, I think persistence, that would be the thing. And because we all go through ups and downs, and I remember, in my career where I was really thinking that maybe it's not going to happen the way I wanted, and like when I was an amateur, I couldn't make the final for 4 years. I was semi-final, and other couples getting over me. So I remember those things and thinking, maybe it's not for me really the way I wanted it to be. And I'm glad I didn't quit, because those thoughts were coming to my mind. So I think if you love dance, and if you really enjoy being a part of this wonderful dancing world, I think you should stay persistent no matter what. When you have great success, when you have big disappointments, still stay persistent and keep consistently working on the dance, and I think that will definitely lead you to the successful path.
Absolutely, absolutely. Arunas, thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, you will be judging them. And this is only the beginning. There's lots of judging to come from you. And we really absolutely thank you so much for making yourself available to South Africa and to Rumba in the Jungle. We look forward to seeing you many more times.
Well, thank you, Harold. I look forward to Rumba in the Jungle. And of course, good luck to all the competitors. Most of all, enjoy it. I think when you participate, enjoy it.
Absolutely. Arunas, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, to be honest with you, this will be my first time judging an online ballroom and Latin competition. So thank you once again to the SADF and the organizers of this prestigious Rumba in the Jungle 2022. I think in terms of judging online, it opens up your mind to different aspects of what we as judges look for in a couple. Of course, staying true to the fundamentals of each dance, being technical skills, partnering skills, musicality, presentation, communication, and so on. Overall, I think it's a different method of judging and experience for each one of us as judges individually.
I'm Marta Vasconcelos, and I'd like to thank you and feel immensely honored to be presenting as adjudicator at this prestigious event. In response to your question, whether the older or younger generation enjoy the challenge of online competition more, I'd say the younger generation is already used to this online environment. Having been schooled online during the COVID period, doing many of their extramural activities online, and of course socializing with their friends online. So to do a dance competition online is just a natural extension of their online lives. Those with self-discipline continue pushing themselves, but those relying on their teachers to push them may have slipped back a little bit, having less contact with their teachers. Whereas the older generation is more familiar with the real world environment and the romance of elegance, beautifully dressed dancers gathering in crystal chandeliered ballrooms, and therefore they're struggling to adapt to the cold, impersonal online world. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Quintus Jensen, and just some tips regarding reaching your peak and giving the best possible performance for your online dance competition. Having judged quite a few of them internationally over recent times, I can definitely say that preparation is key. You need to prepare over and above what you would prepare for a live competition. So it's not just your choreography, it's not just your clothing, etc., etc. You need to be sure that you've rehearsed with your videographer, that your videographer can move with you to show you in the best possible way, that they can zoom in or move with you, zoom out, and that makes a big difference. A picture of your beautiful dancing. Then, of course, light. Beautiful lighting around you. You need to make sure that it focuses on your dancing. And then, of course, your venue needs to be lit well, because you need to be cognizant of that. We don't want to be distracted as judges from your dancing. Your sound is important. Make sure that the sound system is loud enough for you to hear, but also for us to hear on your broadcast, so that there's no disparity between what we're seeing and what we're hearing. We want to be able to see that you're dancing to music and that you are interpreting the music as beautifully as possible. So those are just a few tips that I would like to give to you. So prepare, 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 and rehearse your dancing. Rehearse the recording. set up a rehearsal recording. Make sure you can check what the person on the other end is hearing, is seeing, and that makes you stand out much more professionally and portrays our dance and our dance industry in the best possible way. So all the best to you, and good luck.
My name is Salome Sichele, and I'm so privileged to be the chairperson of the Rumba in the Jungle Online 2022. What I'm going to be expecting of the judges is that they look at the character, never mind the character of the dance, and see whether it's brought through in the videos and in the submissions, because when you see it live and you see it recorded, it's two different things. So the character, the technique, and everything that goes towards the performance and the enjoyment, that is what I expect the judges to be looking for.
Hello, my name is Sergei Nekrasov, and I think in this new reality of the world that we're living in right now, a lot of different competitors from different countries starting to do their competitions online, which is, I think it's a big progress and actually very positive for all of us dancers, judges, spectators, or everybody else around the world to be able to attend any competition without actually traveling to the city or to the country that we are supposed to dance. Plus, I think it also gives a lot of opportunities for be creative while recording your video, or actually some way of dancing the way and compiling the video, unless it's an online competition, to be able to show how you can create the video of your dancing in a way that probably some kind of video professionals can do during some special events like Dancing with the Stars, for example. So I think with the new competitions going online, it's very exciting and a new era of the dancing, especially the ballroom dancing. So I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be great.
Hello, my name is Brian Schmidt. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. And answering the question, I would prefer to see the couples back on the dance floor visually. I know that visual marking is very convenient currently, but I do prefer to see the dancers on the dance floor again as in the past.
Hi everybody, my name is Chris Bulpert. I live in South Africa, Pretoria. The pandemic has changed the lives of many, many people over the last 2 years. But here in our dancing community, we've fought our way through this with regards to Zoom meetings, Zoom classes, virtual competitions. But in general, the dancers are fighting. We are all fighting to keep our sport alive. I don't think that it has set us back, but it's actually setting us forward, because we all have a fight in it. Even as far as the rest of our country, It's a known fact that there are virtual competitions, virtual training, and we've been very lucky to have international people doing virtual workshops here as well in South Africa. The dancers are alive, they are fighting, and we will carry on.
Hi guys, Clint Bowres here from Cape Town, South Africa. Dancers are now more keen on getting back into competitions and back into their studios again. I must also commend them on bringing this newfound surge of energy onto the dance floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. As we know, this is an international competition. It is time that we meet one of the greatest dancers that this planet has seen, Mr. Arunas Bizokas. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, Harold. Hello, everyone.
Thanks, Arunas. Arunas, let's kick off by saying, the little boy Arunas, what did he see in that little mind of his? What made Arunas go, I am going to do this and I'm going to conquer the world?
I think when I just started, there was none of the big ambitions there, or that I would want to succeed ultimately. I enjoyed the social part of it, I must say, when I was a kid. So it wasn't so much about the dance and the results, but I loved that, you know, other kids were there, and it was very popular when I started dancing in Lithuania. I was 7, and most of the kids, I went to the school first class, and most of the other kids in the class with me, they also went dancing. So that was like the normal thing to do. After school activity in every school, there would be a dance club, and most of the kids would attend. And so it was very popular, and for me it was enjoyable because, you know, all of my classmates, most of them, they were in the dancing club. So yeah, so we had a lot of fun. It was only later on, when I was about 14, that results and dancing itself became more important. And it had to do a lot with my partner. At the time, I started dancing with Edita, and she was very passionate about it, and that somehow also transferred to me, and I became very interested, and I really wanted to do well then. And yeah, so from about 14, that's where really I started dreaming about success, and wanted to achieve something in dancing.
That's amazing, Arunas. So that natural ability, do you say you were a natural dancer when you started? Did you feel you had a natural ability?
Well, I think I was, considering that my teachers encouraged me to continue at one point when I was maybe around 8 or 9. And it's normal when kids grow, some of them quit. Some of my friends quit, and I thought, okay, they're no longer there, so no, maybe it's time for me to quit as well. And I actually, for a month, I think, I stopped going to the classes. And that's when the teacher at the time called my mom and said that, you know, it would be really a shame if I didn't continue, because he thought that I was really gifted for the dancing, and then my mom persuaded me to return. So I guess, you know, early on, teachers saw that I had ability for dancing.
Absolutely, you had the potential and the hunger for this champion in you, Arunas. Do you have a time period when it kicked in? Do you have a timeline?
Well, yeah, I think so. As I mentioned, when I was 14, it became important. When I was maybe around 6 or 15, that's where, you know, nationally we won like juniors, and that of course was a big deal for me at the time. I felt that was a big accomplishment, and that also encouraged me to try to do that at the world level as well. And so I would say ever since I was 15, 16, that's where it was on my mind that I want to be successful and recognized worldwide. So quite an early on, yeah. And I must say we had very successful youth career and nationally winning both ballroom and Latin in the world championships. I think finished third in the ballroom, and then Blackpool under 21 second in the ballroom. And that's I think the success kind of was breeding my hunger for for more success. So
awesome.
So yeah,
awesome.
Once I got onto that path, yeah, so I kind of stayed on it. Yeah.
Awesome. Aruna's the dancer. He's understood himself. He is now on that floor. He is going for gold. What does Arunas the dancer see? What do you see in your soul when you're on that floor dancing? Because there is a look in your eyes, there's a look in your mind, there's a look in your posture, there's a freedom in your movement. You fly around that floor and it's almost as if you've left this planet, you're somewhere else. What do you see when you're dancing and you're going for gold, Arunas?
Well, I see that goal in front of me, but that's not like one thing that in my mind. It's a lot of things that come together. And when you think of the performance that is a winning performance, I think where you're aware of everything that's going in the ballroom, so people around, the audience, other couples, the music, the lights, the space, the ballroom itself. So yeah, so all of these things you are aware of, and I think the connection that you feel, when you feel that others are looking at you at the time, I think, and you're aware of that. That's for me something that is very special, because you definitely then feel the connection with the people around that are present in the ballroom at the time. And I think it's somewhat captivating, and you then really in the moment, and you know that the dance is kind of taking you to others, or through your dancing you're connecting to the others. So for me, that's the special part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Aruna's advice. What would you, Arunas the judge? Now Arunas has danced. He now has moved to that level where when he judges, he demands excellence. Do you have a quick list of what the dancer needs to give you? Do you have what the dancer needs to bring forth to get your eye, for you to put that pen to paper or get that digital mark going? What is the thing that says Arunas wants to mark you?
Yeah, so I think if three things, if we take it very generally. So I think how it looks, so that stylistic approach, I think that's very important. And then how it moves, so of course how you coordinate the movements and time the movements, and then how it connects, and it's connecting together between partners, connecting to the music, and connecting to those who are looking at the performance. So I think in general, these three things, and of course there are a lot of details in each of one, if you go, that it makes it better. And overall, I think it could be summed up with the word quality. And I like the definition of quality, which is attention to detail, because in every of these departments, so there's so many details that make things work better. So I think the greater the quality, the better. But in general sense, so yes, so how you look, how you move, and how you connect.
Absolutely. And obviously, Aruna's timing. Today we all know the Ferrari flies as a machine, and young dancers, that's what they want to do. And sometimes timing goes out the window. Do you have things you forgive when you judge? The smile you're getting now, because sometimes you see judges, we get that smile on the floor because you're going, ooh, there we go.
Yeah, and I think it's great when there's a lot of enthusiasm, and of course that sometimes can take over some other things. And yes, so where the timing can become less clear, and of course it's got to be as clear as possible, because that, of course, to say, has got a lot of impact where the timing is great. So yeah, but I think with experience you become more aware how important it is. But looking back at my career, so yeah, I remember when I thought, yes, the faster I go, the better it is, so the greater is the energy. So I think that's very natural, and I think that is important, but that's not the only thing that counts.
Absolutely, Arunas. And then advice, Arunas. What advice would you give to those young dancers out there looking at this daunting, mammoth phenomenon, and how do they grab this bull by the horns?
Yeah, well, I think persistence, that would be the thing. And because we all go through ups and downs, and I remember, in my career where I was really thinking that maybe it's not going to happen the way I wanted, and like when I was an amateur, I couldn't make the final for 4 years. I was semi-final, and other couples getting over me. So I remember those things and thinking maybe it's not for me really the way I wanted it to be. And I'm glad I didn't quit, because those thoughts were coming to my mind. So I think if you love dance and if you really enjoy being a part of this wonderful dancing world, I think you should stay persistent no matter what. When you have great success, when you have big disappointments, still stay persistent and keep consistently working on the dance, and I think that will definitely lead you to the successful path.
Absolutely. Arunas, thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, you will be judging them. And this is only the beginning. There's lots of judging to come from you. And we really absolutely thank you so much for making yourself available to South Africa and to Rumba in the Jungle. We look forward to seeing you many more times.
Well, thank you, Harold. I look forward to Rumba in the Jungle. And of course, good luck to all the competitors. Most of all, enjoy it. I think when you participate, enjoy it.
Absolutely. Arunas, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, to be honest with you, this will be my first time judging an online ballroom and Latin competition. So thank you once again to the SADF and the organizers of this prestigious Rumba in the Jungle 2022. I think in terms of judging online, it opens up your mind to different aspects of what we as judges look for in a couple. Of course, staying true to the fundamentals of each dance, being technical skills, partnering skills, musicality, presentation, communication, and so on. Overall, I think it's a different method of judging and experience for each one of us as judges individually.
I'm Marda Vasconcelos, and I'd like to thank you and feel immensely honored to be presenting as adjudicator at this prestigious event. In response to your question, whether the older or younger generation enjoy the challenge of online competition more, I'd say the younger generation is already used to this online environment. Having been schooled online during the COVID period, doing many of their extramural activities online, and of course socializing with their friends online. So to do a dance competition online is just a natural extension of their online lives. Those with self-discipline continue pushing themselves, but those relying on their teachers to push them may have slipped back a little bit, having less contact with their teachers. whereas the older generation is more familiar with the real world environment and the romance of elegance, beautifully dressed dancers gathering in crystal chandeliered ballrooms, and therefore they're struggling to adapt to the cold, impersonal online world. Thank you.
Hi.
Hopes and aspirations for the future of dance sport, specifically for women in this field and in this sector, because you're in a position of decision in dance.
As a woman in the space, yes, and in the employment, in the role that I am, in this time of COVID, when we need every opportunity, Rumba in the Jungle comes in the right time, right space, because it's the right platform for us to show off. There is a lot to do actually at Rumba in the Jungle. There's the dance competition, there's the fashion show that goes on, there's people putting out the wares, models, there's music going on, there's time to take in, relax, there's time to get busy, happens these days, thank goodness to COVID, because we would have never known that we can do the online thing as well as the physical thing. So we look forward to those kind of opportunities that Rumba in the Jungle gives us a platform to. Judges that are coming here, the artists, the singers, the staff, the vacation, the tourism, the fashion, wow, the fashion, guys, the showing off of our culture, everything, all encompassed in an event that we look forward to each and every year. And I am so pleased to be part of it as chairman of judges, because the dancers also want to know that they are going to be judged by people who are professional, who know exactly what they want to do. And it's all about knowing what you're doing and doing it with the best that you have. So, hey, what do they say? Dance is best in the Northwest. No, this time we say dance is best and Rumba in the Jungle. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
People often don't realize that we are also hairdressers, stylists, designers, physiotherapists, etc. And with Rumba in the Jungle incorporating fashion and crafts, how do you feel about a typical dance platform like this doing that? And would you like to see others like this follow suit?
I think it's a great idea. One of the biggest problems we have is that in South Africa we don't have much of that type of setup, and basically if you go to any of the big European competitions, Blackpool, German Open, they have hundreds of stalls. Our dancers in South Africa have a limitation because we don't have all of that. And so the only way that they are able to progress with regards to costumes and dance shoes and grooming is by bringing that sort of thing in. And it's very difficult because there are hundreds of guys and ladies that do costumes, but they don't have a platform to use it, and then it costs a lot of money. And again, I know I always go back to the money, but if something like that could be developed, I think it would make a big difference to our dancers, because as much as we design and we make costumes here in South Africa for our dancers, they choose styles and they see the most wonderful, beautiful costumes in Europe, and that's what they would like. But then, of course, there's a problem with funding. So, yes, I think if we could incorporate a much bigger, almost like a festival, a dance festival, where we have all of the fabric organizations, the designers, the makeup people, the physiotherapists, and all of that type of thing that we need to bring into dancing, I think it would be a great idea.
Harlova, half Russian, half South African, and I'm so delighted to have been invited by SADF to officiate at Rumba in the Jungle online. Rumba in the Jungle is an absolutely unique dance event, and I've always supported it. So I got asked by the organizers to share my thoughts on whether there is anything positive to be taken from the situation we've all been through as dancers and coaches during the pandemic. Oh yeah, sure. Without a doubt, there's lots to be taken. First of all, and I'm speaking for myself, most of us have seriously improved our computer skills, and that's worth the effort. While on a serious note, the whole pandemic situation pushed the entire dance community to a new level of interaction and collaboration with each other. So I'm talking about online lessons and coaching, online workshops, congresses, competitions. We actually had to step out of our comfort zones and to find really working tools in both in teaching and learning. So this new online format was an absolute godsend, just simply to keep us going. So in my opinion, the online format, that is exactly what should be taken and incorporated in a very clever way into dancing from now on. So hopefully I've covered the question. Good luck to all of you and see you soon.
This is without a doubt the one language that unifies all of us globally, and with the pandemic, that just solidified it. Because when the world stopped, we all started dancing. Yet in South Africa specifically, we lack the support both physically and financially. Can we talk a bit about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think why we suffered in South Africa is because, people were unemployed, lost their jobs, studios closed, and there was very little assistance coming forward from the government or from the authorities. But anyway, we all managed to pull through, and things seem to be coming right now, and I look forward to the future.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What an exhilarating performance. Can we please give them another round of applause? Shapila Matoko people, hello. They were wonderful. So much talent, so much entertainment. Welcome to Rumba in the Jungle 2022. Before we go any further, please allow me to acknowledge the presence of our Honorable MEC of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation of the Northwest Province, Mayor Virginia Tlapi. Can we please acknowledge her presence, as well as the presence of the Mayor of the Moses Kotane Municipality, Her Worship Councillor Nketu Nkotwi. Yes! And just a brief introduction to who I am. My name is Erin Massen. I am a product of not only Mabana and the Northwest Arts Council, but also Rumba in the Jungle. My first Rumba in the Jungle was at the age of 9, back in 19... So it is very exciting for me to come back now, especially since the competition is taking on a different direction. This is the first virtual version of the competition, which is very exciting because it shows that we are evolving and moving with the times and so on. But before we get into the program, please allow me to introduce another talented young person, a lady in fact. She will be performing our national anthem, D'Afrique. Please, round of applause. Don't be shy now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. The next person I would like to introduce is not only the chairman of Rumba in the Jungle, he has also been a teacher, a mentor, a second dad to many people like me who have gone through these ranks. Without further ado, Mr. Frans Zema.
Dumelang. Good evening. Program Director, let me start by acknowledging Rathabo Mabe. I saw him and his wife. I saw Re Zegstolo. I saw my other colleague from the presidency, Mr. Elmon Gianni. I saw our former director, one of the board members, Mr. Cyril Sadiki, and all protocol observed. I don't know where to start. I have a long history about Rumba in the Jungle, but what I can say is that it is the only African dancing market that we have in Africa. It is the only market where we can sell our talent as South Africans. Since its inception in 1981, the 20th of September, I think it exposed our South African talent to the world. I think that one is very important. But also I want to give an explanation of the value of cultural programs within our society. I think we also have an economic role that we play as dancers, as artists. I can give you an example to say Dubai has an expo that started in October 2021. That expo is scheduled to finish the end of March this year. Every single day when it started, they were managing 250,000 tourists. And you can imagine the value of the money that those people bring. In South Africa, we have an event called Makufe. It is making over 500 million for the week it plays. I'm sure somebody can ask me how. People who go there, some of us, we don't just go there without spending. On average, a person spends around 5,000-6,000. Accommodation, meals, all those things. Now, with the week, and the important thing is that they also loan the market. By them taking Kaizer Chiefs there and having the game, they know already Kaizer Chiefs brings over 100,000 people to be their market. That's how our role as Rumba in the Jungle is, to say we want to bring the world to Africa, to South Africa, and to the Northwest Province. Bojanala is the only district in the Northwest Province with more than 8,000 beds. There's no other district with those many beds. Therefore, it is relevant that we have this event here because we have those enough beds to accommodate those number of people coming here. Now, on average, the event injects not less than 30 million for the 4 days it runs. Today, we are only running it in a small venue because we are trying to prepare the people to come to Africa, to come to South Africa, to come to the Northwest Province. It was difficult to only say, let us stage the event without sensitizing the world, which is exactly what we are doing now. We are saying to the world, the pandemic is just about to go away. Let us prepare ourselves. Let us come again in South Africa, in the Northwest, in Bojanala, to come and spend your money, to come and export and trade with your talent, your dancing. Now we have expanded even more than dancing. We have introduced the craft. We have introduced fashion. Therefore, we are able to exchange all those values with our visitors coming from overseas. The people that you will be seeing here are people coming from, you'll see the Russians and the Ukrainians, although they're having a war now. But we have one judge from Ukraine, we have two judges from Russia, we have one from USA, we have one from UK. Therefore, what we are doing here is actually linked to those people in those countries. As we are sitting here, they are also sitting in their countries, interacting with us via the IT systems. I don't want to talk much because I said I have a lot to say. But what I'm simply saying is that we will definitely appeal and request, although we appreciate what has been given, we would like government to take this event as a serious market for our local dancers, so that we can have more of the Bokokobokwes, we can have more of Bokagiso Ntsiane, Bosalomes Tshele, and many others. Lastly, what I would like to say is that we normally speak about GBV, gender-based violence. In dancing, there's no gender-based violence, because a male and a female starts to know each other when they are very young. Therefore, the tolerance is better when they grow up interacting with one another more than when they just know one another as just enemies. Therefore, dancing has got a major role to play. But without taking much of the time, I would like to say, sit back and enjoy what we will be trying to show you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sema. Up next, I would like to introduce the Office of the MEC of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation, Mr. Thabo Mabe.
Thank you, Erin, our program director. My name is Thabo Mabi. I am not the MEC. I am the Chief Director responsible for arts and culture, libraries and archives in the province. I had to start there. I just had to start by explaining that. But thank you very much, Program Director, and all our important guests who are here. I've been told that everybody in here is a VIP. I would also acknowledge the presence of Ntate Pitso Zakaria Tolo. I heard they call him Zakes as well. But his name is Zakaria Tolo, who is the special advisor to the Premier in the province and the veteran of the struggle for freedom in our country. The officials of the department who are here, various art and culture formations, and artists, creatives who are part of this important event. Everybody, the management of Sun City, the organizers of Rumba, is it Rumba or Ramba? In the jungle. Everybody who is here, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I have been requested to represent the MEC, who really wanted to be with you today. She was prepared up to the last moment. I'm sure she also took some visits to the salons and did some makeup and so on, got a new dress. But because of the nature of her work, she had to attend to other matters, other very pressing matters that she couldn't postpone for any other day. But she sent a very warm message to all of you and says she's with you in spirit, and she was really honored to have been given this opportunity to come and interact with yourselves. So I will be here on her behalf, and just be rest assured that I will try by all means to represent her quite well. Whatever I'm going to say, if whatever I'm saying, it's good and great and music to your ears, you must know it from the MEC. Anything that's out of context and boring, you must know it's me. But she says, it is our great pleasure and honor to be part of this year's digital Rumba in the Jungle International Dance Festival. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, like people who have risen from the ashes, as we are quietly moving away from the difficulties brought about by COVID-19. We are here to appreciate life and opportunity given to us by creation itself. We are here happy to have been able to learn life's new teachings in this era, and that we are able to embrace and adapt to these realities. Who ever thought today we'll be sitting here next to each other experiencing a dance competition through television monitors and so on. It is indeed very intriguing and part of the new normal. I think Rev. Franz Sema, when he was here, he also spoke about the importance of the creative industry. In the face of unemployment, in the face of inequality, in the face of wars, the creative industry is always there to give a new narrative. Even in the midst of depression, music and dance still come out to console those who are depressed. Even when people are in prison for many years, music and dance still plays a role to keep them hopeful. Even in the midst of a very difficult funeral, people still sing and dance to keep hope alive. But more than that, the creative industry is indeed an alternative economy. Our creatives are gradually moving away from being entertainers to entrepreneurs. It is very, very important that we embrace the creatives in their endeavor to push their craft and develop the economy in our environment. The MEC quotes Frantz Fanon, and she says, each generation must, out of relative obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. Now, through this quotation, the MEC says, in terms of the word obscurity, the thing that is difficult to understand, dance in the eyes of many still remain obscure. Dance as a sector in the creative industries is not as prominent as music, theater, or films. It is not prominent because it has been taken as a by the way kind of a craft. But our department here tonight is committing itself to partner with yourselves, to continue partnering with yourselves in this Rumba in the Jungle dance competition. It is important, colleagues, to note that the department has partnered financially and otherwise with this initiative over the last 3 years. And normally when you've got people who are sponsoring you, they are not very important during the first year. But during the last year, they are very, very important because you want them to recommit. So I'm sure that's why one is getting all this VVIP treatment. But it is welcome. So indeed, colleagues, we will continue to partner with yourselves and make sure that all those areas that SMA has touched on are realized. The issue of tourism, the issue of realigning the issue of ensuring that our province, our district, our artists are also part of the international community. Because you see, art, or rather let me just say creativity, knows no boundaries. And it is initiatives like this that can indeed ensure that we keep our economy alive. So I am told that today is the day for dance. It's not a day for speeches. And we hope that colleagues here are going to really enjoy themselves and ensure that we keep the light of Rumba in the Jungle burning. It is important as it will also contribute to social cohesion and nation building. The MEC says, as we enjoy tonight, as we see the beautiful creativity of our artists, as we witness those who are winning and so on, we must not forget that we still have COVID-19 among us. Vaccines are still available for those that have not vaccinated, because it is once we have all vaccinated, or at least a larger number, has that everything will, the economy will open up, and our creatives will be able to display their talent. Lastly, MEC says she's taking this opportunity to wish all participants in this competition best of luck and success. And she says we must continue observing the COVID-19 protocols so that we can lessen the impact of this pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mabe. Another very exciting part of this competition for me is the fashion aspect, fashion and crafts. So I am very excited to introduce to you the first runway display of fashion for the evening. The line was created by a young designer, Ditebogo McDonald, from Mutlabeng in Mafikeng. Enjoy. first time ever. Enjoy.
Good evening, good people.
Good evening, good people, and thank you for joining us for this, the seventh and last segment of Rumba in the Jungle 2022. This evening's lineup, we have our Junior Championship Ballroom, Adult Championship Solo Ballroom, Adult Championship Latin, Junior Championship Latin, Professional Latin, our fashion show, and not forgetting our distinguished adjudicators. Enjoy.
Our international adjudicators, Stanislav Popov of Russia, Arunas Bizokas of Lithuania, Anatoly Trelinsky of Ukraine, Sergei Nekrasov of the United States of America, Yulia Karlova of Russia, the South African online adjudicators, Magda Vasconcelos of Gauteng, Clint Borez of the Western Cape, Quintus Janssen of Gauteng. Our South African on-site adjudicators, Brian Schmidt from Gauteng, Chris Bulpert from Gauteng, Velapi Mabiletsa from the Western Cape, Kimberly Isaacs from the Western Cape, Nombulelo Hlati from the Northwest Province, Sylvester Sifutlelo from the Free State. Ladies and gentlemen, the waltz.
Good evening, good people, and thank you for joining us for this.
Face down, booty up. That's the way we like to rock. Just look good and I know you're still. She say she won't, but I bet she will. Swing her partner round and round. End of the night, it's going down. One more shot, another round. End of the night, it's going down. Swing your partner round and round. End of the night, it's going down. One more shot, another round. End of the night, it's going down. I'm yelling timber. You better move, you better dance, let's make a night. You won't remember, I'll be the one you won't forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Viennese Waltz. Ladies and gentlemen, the quick step. Ladies and gentlemen, the waltz.
There's a mother just turning around with her trees in the forest and roots underground. Our Father above us who sighs the wind, paint us a rainbow without any end. As the river runs freely, the mountain does rise. Let me touch with my fingers and see with my eyes. In the hearts of the children, a pure love still grows like a bright
Ladies and gentlemen, the tango.